This is Relay Talk with your host DKEN, and it is already round 3, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what time it is? It's time for me to pick some winners. Now, today, this round is the first round where we will have less than 16 games. So we did have a couple eliminations over the course of round 2. Unfortunately, 8 teams were not able to get a win, lost back-to-back. And now they are eliminated from the tournament, not able to play any more games. It sucks that, obviously every single elimination is not a good thing. But there always has to be losers. So I guess a farewell from the Relay Talk show to these teams. Team Keck, the new SSG community, Team W, Fine Clap, Lelox, NDA, Team T-Wags with the T-Wags, and Forcing CD. It's been a great joy to cover all of your matches. I hope you all had an awesome time in the relay. But unfortunately, the rest of the tournament must go on without you guys. Okay, so in editing, I realized that Fine Clap was not actually eliminated. The only team with Pants was, so bye-bye, Team Pants. Also, I did this for round 1, but I'm just going to point out how accurate both my and the game predictions documents picks have been. So, just like in round 1, the game predictions document, which is like everyone's collective predictions aggregated, it went 10-6 in round 2. So overall, the document is 20-12. As for me, I went 11-5 this round, which means I'm 21-11 overall. So I'm beating out everyone's predictions by exactly 1 game, and I think it's kind of cool to see that I'm at least above like 50%. I know technically you could already do that just by guessing like the high seeded team every single game. But yeah, I've like selected a couple upsets here and there, and they did pay out. So I think I know at least a little bit of what I'm doing. Now we will just get straight into these games. Like I said, there's only 12 of them, and the first of which starts this Friday at the 8th of April at 20 o'clock UTC. We have the first seeded team, Team 1 with Molly G, Feinberg, and Infume against the 18th seed French Cocktail with Blide, Philocreep, and Nuxor. This is a loser bracket game. I believe, 2/3 of the entire round 3 games are loser bracket games. So the eliminations will keep rolling in. They will not stop. Now, as for this game, if you guys remember, Team 1 basically threw away all of their winning chances just because Molly G couldn't even like make it to the match on time. But other than that, Feinberg and Infume had 2 very great runs. Infume having the one and only sub 20 in 1.7 for the Relay 2, holding the fastest time in the tournament. Just a great runner overall, I believe. French Cocktail, I believe they can pull out a nice and fast run of themselves. Although, just looking at the document here of the solo times, none of them have had like a crazy fast time. If I'm correct about that, it doesn't mean they can't pull one off. I do think there is obviously a reason why Team 1 is the first seeded team, and I feel like, yes, like they did lose in probably the worst ways possible. It also doesn't make them a bad team themselves. I think the biggest hurdle is just scheduling. That should be about it. If all 3 members show up on time and play Minecraft, I think it'll be a great time for Team 1. Unfortunately, French Cocktail, they probably have what it takes. I don't think it'll happen, so I'm taking Team 1 here. Next, on the 9th of April at 1 o'clock UTC, we have the 24th seed Mates Gang with Antu, Deferade, and FedEx Cool against the 30th seed Fine Clap with Rain or Something, Ficus, and Dazed Nova. This is everything. I feel like for me, every team below like the 20th seed are basically the same team, and I guess that's a true assessment, or at least a fair one anyway, because like a 6 seed like difference isn't gonna be too impactful. For me personally, I like Mate Gang a little bit better than Fine Clap, but it's not by a whole lot. These teams, in my heart, are kind of the same skill level. Not really having blazing fast runs in either of their first two rounds. I really like Antu. Probably my favorite player on their team. Always a consistent 1.16 runner. As for Fine Clap, I think they can get it done. Just looking on the times document here. Let's see, Fine Clap. Where are they? Why can't I find them? What happened? Old boomer can't remember how to do Control F. Let's see here. Fine Clap. Here we go. Days Nova with the 50-minute run in round 1. Holy cow. I remember that. As for round 2, another like around 40-minute run. I think if Nova can get over, I don't know what it could. Usually with most of the runners, it's always nerves or like not being able to deal with adversity. I'm confident Nova can definitely sub 30 in this tournament, because I believe like most of the 1.7 runners in this tournament so far at least have that capability. And same goes for Rafikas, having a pretty decent run in round 1, but a 40-minute time in round 2. This is, if you guys remember, the by definition worst win in relay history with like a 1:44 combined time. Absolutely insane. If they can clean that up, then obviously they can win. But I think this is kind of a coin flip game. So I'm going to go with the team that I feel like can pull it off. I'm going to go with Mate Gang here with a W. Now, next we have on the same day at 13:30 UTC, third seeded Adrift with Maljak, Rakagan, and Spinnaker versus the 17th seed of Fisherman, Crooks, GD Taffel, and Axeroth. These two teams are insanely good. And by insanely good, I mean one of them had the first sub-hour in the tournament, and the other one had like a 102 in round 1 and the best 1.16 player in the entire relay, hands down. This is super tough for me to decide. I will say both of these two teams are very similar in the fact that they kind of showed a little bit of weakness in round 2. Obviously, GD Taffel having like a 38-minute run, not being able to kill the dragon in a clean manner, had to like wait for like, was it like a total of 5 or 4 like purges of the dragon just to get the thing down, taking like another death. Obviously, you're not going to get a whole lot of that, but I know they do enjoy some zero cycle, which is another risky play. I don't know if Taffel is going to really commit to a zero cycle anymore. Just doing one cycle enough probably seems hard. So, and as for Adrift, Spinnaker taking some nether deaths, they are, they're somewhat unavoidable, I feel like, in this tournament. Just not being able to play cleanly in every single round is like a very common occurrence. Obviously, no team is perfect. But the thing is, they're very evenly skilled teams. Don't let their 17th seed or the Fishermen fool you. They are very good at what they do. Man, I think I wanna go for the upset here by seeding anyway. I feel like the Fishermen really can pull it out. Crooks is better than Maljak. Taffel, I feel like, is about the same skill level as Rakagan, as long as he doesn't do any funny business. And then Axeroth and Spinnaker are about the same level, I feel like. Man, I feel like at their peak, I think the Fishermen can play better than Adrift. Yeah, I'm taking the Fishermen for their third W of Relay 2. You heard it here first. Now we have, on the same day, 3 hours later at 16:30 UTC, we have the 8th seed Tri-County Titanium Mothman with Xylonox, Kuriway, and Illumina against the 20th seed Team Korea with Temp, Zadori, and Haru. This is another loser bracket game. Immediately, I feel like I want to pick the Mothman, and I think there's a good reason behind that. Kuriway has played 2 good rounds, I feel like. currently holds the fastest time for 1.14 thanks to a little bit of nether travel. Xylonox, what time did Xylonox get in the second round? Xylonox got, let's see here, a 15-minute time, so obviously very capable. In round 2, no, this is round 1 stats I'm looking at. Yeah, round 1 the Mothman had a 104. Round 2, the Mothman lost because of the Illumina Tower shenanigans, which we will never forget. But I don't know. Team Korea did play pretty decently well. Zidori, though, had a lot of troubles in their version, whether that be with just 1.14, not 1.14, 1.15 trading misplays. Just a lot of stuff. Haru didn't really sell me as a consistent runner either. I know I picked Tri-County Titanium Mothman to win last time, and that didn't go well for me. But as long as they really don't have to be incredibly fast, and I think this goes along with all the other teams. It's still round 3. I guess you could technically call it the early to middle game. As long as you get a solid time, you should be chilling, and that means taking the time loss just to make sure that your run finishes. Although I think the reason why the Mothman lost last time was not really that; it was just a mental error on Illumina's part. I don't know how much Illumina practices 1.7. I don't know if that really will affect anything for this match, but I just think the Mothman, just with Xylonox and Kuriway, are a much better team than Team Korea, and I will take them for the W. Next, we have, also on the same day at 1800 UTC, the 11th seed Hot Tourist with Neo, Microvenger, and Nice Twice against the 21st seed with the Juice, with Ben Does Live, Schmalix, and Alex. Yeah, this is another loser bracket game. I like the Hot Tourist in this one. I'm just going to say it straight up. Nice Twice having a very nice run in the first round, couldn't really follow it up in 1.7 for round 2. But everything leading up to the end fight was very clean, and I think the reason that Nice Twice was not able to really have the end fight he wanted was because maybe he rushed getting the materials that he did. Obviously, not entering with enough arrows. And upon the second trip back to the end, he also rushed not getting as many beds as he probably should have. And I think for Nice Twice, it's about just slowing down, taking time to make sure you do it right the first time. And even if that means sacrificing a sub 25, I think it's going to be worth it. The Juice are not an incredibly cracked team. I think they can agree. You don't really have anything insane that you have to pursue in terms of a final combined time. If the Hot Tourists know what they're doing, I think they know how to approach this game, which is not throwing any shade on the Juice, obviously. But yeah, I think the Hot Tourists, in my mind, should be able to pull this out. New has not had a single bad game so far in the tournament. Yeah, having a 60-minute round game in round 2, and what was it another 60-minute game in round 1. Very consistent runner, as with 1.16 in general. But I just think the Hot Tourists should be able to get this W. And yeah, that's it for that game. Whoa, burped. Now, on the 10th of April at 1830 UTC, we have the 23rd seeded team, Team Spanish with Santa, Sergi Tissan, and Pato Cesar against the 32nd team, Team Ireland with Corbo, Look, and Kai. This is kind of like the Mate Gang and Fine Clap game. These two teams might as well be the same. I think Team Spanish is a little bit better just because they have a much stronger 1.7 runner. Kai, unfortunately, has not had the best experience in this tournament so far. Not getting it was. I think Kai got a 40-minute run in round 1. Didn't really have too much success in round 2 either. As for Team Ireland's other two runners, they did pretty well as far as I'm concerned. At least Korobo did. I just don't think it's really enough for a team to beat Team Spanish because, as I remember correctly, Team Spanish did finish out with a combined like 121, which is not very good. But like looking at the individual runs, nothing really looks that crazy. I guess Santa probably could have had a faster run. Didn't exactly get a sub 20 to begin with. But like the competition is not crazy either. Like I said, it's just another coin flip game. I don't really want to go for the high seed every time in these things, but I'm not convinced that Kai can finish out a 1.7 run in clean fashion. I mean, obviously they're free to prove me wrong, but that's just what I think. I think Team Spanish wins this one and moves on. Next, on the same day at 20 o'clock UTC, we have the 14th seed Super Hot Fire with Danger 1451, Branson TSN, and Sprapple against the 22nd seeded Cottage Builders with Emmy, Blob, and Ox Idiot. This is, I think this probably should be easier for me than I'm making it for myself. My instant reaction was that they are the same team, but they're not, because Super Hot Fire blew my expectations out of the water in their second round. Obviously, it was like a 101.59 combined, which is a very clean time, as opposed to like the shenanigans that they pulled off against Mate Gang in round one. I think they're very capable of doing that again. Danger getting a very nice like sub 13. Danger was always a wild card in my mind. Even dating back to Relay 1, getting like the fastest time for 1.16 in the first round back then, and then kind of like falling off a cliff after that. I just think Super High Fire, even though I have this image in my mind that they're not good, I think they are good. And I don't think I should just like let that confuse me at all. Although I think Cottage Builders, they are a decent team, but they have not played very cleanly in either of their two games. And there's not a compelling enough case for me to like pick them. Especially with like Ox Idiot probably having the most scuffed, like, I don't even know how to say this. It's battling for who can die the most in 1.7 back in round one. Setting the record, I believe, for most deaths in a match combined with those two teams. I think it was against Ultimate Gamer Guy. I mean, those two really tried their hardest to entertain the audience. And by that, I mean, they did not play very well at all. And obviously for round two, Ox Idiot, let me see here, did get a sub 25, so obviously they're capable of playing well. But I mean, I gotta just look at what I see here. I gotta look at the film. I think Super Hot Fire is a better team. Can they pull it out again? We'll see. None of these two teams are very consistent. But I'm gonna go with Super Hot Fire. I think they impressed me. I think they deserve my, not support, but you guys get it. Anyway, next game. This is another winner bracket game on the 13th of April at 1900 UTC. We have the 5th seed, the Magnificent 3, with Hoffick, Malin, and Lacking Toast, against seeded 9-seeded team Blood Trail with Automat, PL, Zaya, and Lure. I don't really know what to say for this one. I picked Team Blood Trail to win against Team 1, I believe, in round 2, and they did win, which is nice. But like, it wasn't really because of them that they won. Let me see what they got in round 2. Let's see here. Yeah, Team Blood Trail finished out with a combined 109. That kind of time is good for Relay 1. In Relay 2, that's a little bit on like the average to average slow side of things. Obviously, it's a different standard for those like teams that are cracked. Like I believe Team Blood Trail is a cracked team, but 109 doesn't impress me as much as like the other combined times we've seen so far. But most of that comes from just the scuff seed that Automat did get in 1.16, so I'm not going to harp on that too much. As for the Magnificent 3, rough round 1. Had a better round 2, but not by a whole lot. Let's see here. Yeah, finishing out with like a 115, which is, again, not too crazy of a victory. I think it really doesn't matter, though. In my eyes, I feel like Team Blood Trail is more consistent, but it's not like Magnificent 3 plays bad either. It's just they had a really rough round 1, and credit to them for like showing up in round 2, correcting some of the mistakes, especially Malin. This time getting a 30-minute time instead of like 44. 30-minute time in 1.14 is still not that great, but improvement is appreciated, obviously. I just think I like Team Blood Trail better. I think I'm going to continue, again, I don't want to say support, but like I'm going to continue putting my trust in them and the fact that they can win over this team. Allure hasn't played a bad game yet. Neither has Automat or Zaya, for that matter. They scream consistent to me. Next game, 2 back-to-back winner bracket games. On the 17th, we have at 14 o'clock UTC, the 16th seed Rockin' Balls with Hade, Mishbanya, and Hanart against the 19th seed Team Delta with Shy, Baratao, and Frogs. If you told me that a 16th seed and a 19th seed were going to battle it out in the winners bracket in round 3, I don't think I would have believed you. And I don't think I would have believed you if you told me that this 19th seed had the fastest time in Relay 2. I think I've said it before in like a relay recap episode, but I'm very much starting to like Team Delta, and they're one of my favorite teams in the tournament. Not because relax guys. I'm not a bandwagon, okay? I liked them before they had the fastest combined time, okay? I was before all of y'all haters, okay? I think Team Delta is a better team than Rockin' Balls. Baratao had like a 21-minute time in the 1.14 rematch. Shy, good runner, obviously uses MS Paint, so like extra points for that. MS Paint during the, eye calculation, Ninja Brain Bot, whatever you want to call it. And Frogs, just another really great 1.7 runner. I remember like back when Speed was kind of coping about the nether he got, Frog just like posted a bunch of videos of him like doing this nether split with like a bunch of gas around him, and that was very impressive. Obviously, it's different to do that in like a practice setting versus tournament setting, but yeah, like Frog just has this hidden talent, at least for me, that I didn't really get to see, and I guess you can extend that logic to every single runner. I do also like Rockin' Balls. I can't remember what they got on previous games though. Let's hear Rockin' Balls round 2 finished with a 115, not too crazy, and then for round 1 got like a 53-minute time without 1.7 because of Hade. I think I'm just gonna stick with Team Delta. I don't see a reality where I don't. Team Delta, I believe, is more consistent. They've had consistently like close matches so far. Maybe not some. Yeah, that's actually true. They've always in both rounds they went against teams that they only beat by like 2 or 3 minutes, and both times they had very fast combined finishes. So this is, I don't want to call it my de facto favorite, but it's up there. And I'm going to pick them to win. Now, on the same day, about 5 hours later, at 1900 UTC, we have the 4th seed. We are single instance with El Richie, Whatever Marco, and Galactic against the 28th seed, Friendless with Crow Pro, Sammy MCSR, and Pixanui. Friendless, I picked against him back in the round 2 picks episode, and Sammy did poke some fun at me for that. Pixanui, who famously like had some crazy troubles with like the jungle and trying to find the stronghold hole back in round 1, showed up in round 2 getting like, what was it, let's see here, Friendless, 30-minute time. It's an improvement. It's not obviously very fast. in the grand scheme of things, but faster than the 1.14 runner, Sammy MC Star, who got like a 30-minute run. I think on their team, CrowPro is probably their strongest runner. I think they know it too. But is it enough to beat the 4th seed? I'm not sure. Whatever, Marco is very skilled at 1.14, and back when they had to run the seed without the lava pool, they were only like by the time who plays 1.14 for Team Delta? Baratao. By the time Baratao had reached a stronghold, and mind you, Baratao had the intended lava pool, like Marco was only 2 minutes behind. So the fact that he was able to catch up with like such a disadvantage, I think this speaks large volumes to the type of runner that Marco is, being able to take adversity and just go with it. And that says a lot. And I think we are single instance. Probably, I know they're probably favored by most people to win this game, just because their runners are like on paper look better. I know Elrichi had a great second round. Same with Galactic. They ended up like finishing with like a 102 combined, and they still lost, which is just insane. I think they are a stronger team than Friendless. So yeah, I'm picking We Are Single Instance again. All right, on the same day, about 1 hour and 30 minutes later at 23rd UTC, we have our game. Let's go. Number 7, a throwaway joke with multi-pearl DKEN, that's me, and Max, against the 12th seed, a serious dedication with Bosco Videos, Ready Band, and the Blazer. Before any of you guys like yell at me for having like bias in this pick, I'm going to point out the fact that I predicted against my own team, okay, in round 2 against the Fishermen. So I'm 100% objective. I have zero opinions whatsoever, and I'm going to pick our team to win. That's right, you heard it, baby. We are going to win this game, and I will say why. So none of us are really practicing our versions. Max doesn't really need to, let's be honest here. I probably need to a little bit, although I make a lot of jokes about the fact that like I'm a boomer and I can't play well. But the thing is, in like round 2 mainly, and a little bit in round 1, I had like pretty good pace up until like each respective end fight. And I probably, like if everything went well in both those games, I probably would have had like 25, 26-minute runs in each of them, which is like, it's decent. And like I know at least for Ready Band, who I'm going against in 1.14, the reason the runs are slow is because the pace is not really the best. And I also want to point out that, yeah, Max is, like, in my opinion, the best 1.7 runner in the tournament, Enfu maybe being, like, a close second. But that does mean something. And I think if Pori stops making, like, dumb decisions, we have a pretty good shot to win this, I feel like. I know the Blazer, very good on 1.7 as well, but not as good as Max. Bosker, same kind of... I think Bosker is probably better than Pori. But maybe not by a lot. I just feel like Pori just doesn't make very good decisions, and sometimes gets like rolled by the fact that he just can't find the fortress like he did in round 2. And I think it will probably be a close game, either because we both throw or we both play like kind of average in terms of like all 6 runners. I know Max is very good, but yeah, I think we pull away with this one. Now for the last game of the round. On the 17th of April at 22 UTC, we have the 6th-seeded team, Team Zatch, with Lyso, Doug, and Pixfumi, against the 10th-seeded team, the Doubters, with Epnoc, Roy, and Speed Nintendo. This is the 4th, winners bracket game. Like I said, there's only 4 winners bracket game in total. And yeah, these two teams, both are very good. I know Team Zatch is like higher seeded by a little bit. I think they are the better team, just by a little bit. Lyso has had very clean runs in both rounds. Same can be said with Epnoc, I guess, but Lyso just has faster times in general. Now, I feel like Speed Nintendo, he has good games, but like I know for round 2, obviously the Nether really screwed him over. I guess it's not. It is technically a skill issue, but it's one that in most cases the other runner will have to deal with and probably fail at as well. So I'm not too concerned about the fact that Speed Nintendo didn't have the greatest nether in round two, I believe. I feel these two teams are pretty similar, and so it just for me it's another one of these coin flip games. I can't remember what Roy got in round two. Let's see. Winners bracket, Roy. I can never find people in this document. Yeah, 30-minute time. Not really too impressive. However, in round one, they got like a 25-minute time. So it's neither here nor there. I think Doug at least has performed better than Roy has. I also just think Doug is like a more consistent runner overall, even though he doesn't really main 1.14. He mains like 1.15 or whatever. I don't know what Doug plays, but I think Team Zatch pulls another W out of this game. And yeah, that is basically it for all 12 games. And after this round, I believe there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, another 8 eliminations. So round 4 will have, wow, only 8 games in round 4. That is crazy to think about, guys. We are already well into this tournament. We are on our way. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. I always enjoy these predictions episodes, probably more than the recap ones, because I actually get to talk about what I think and express my opinion instead of reading off a bunch of notes that I wrote on the screen. But yeah, see you guys in the next one.